Hi friends, thanks for the joining this session for the SharePoint training demonstration. Now I am going to explain about myself. I have around 12 plus years of diverse IT experience with all phases of software development lifecycle. So I have involved for the designing, development, integrating, and implementing. So I am present. I am working in the lead organization, and I also the corporate trainer. I have around 5 years of IT training experience in Microsoft Cloud technology. For myself, I create and I update the training. I give the training to the people, those who are already experienced and seniors. I prepare the documentations and I provide the user support for product launches and collabs. I will collect the data for the users and the corporate trainers, those who require the what they require based on their requirement, and also we give the training to the people based on their requirement and the company needs. This is my exposure, and also I am not only giving for the trainings, I also work for the architect and I implemented a couple of the projects as well. So we explain the online sessions and online environment and the live based example about the issues and live environment. This is about myself. Now, today's agenda, we are going to explain to installation of the share. There are a couple of topics are there. Installation. Why we are going to install the SharePoint, and what is the physical topology if we are talking about the recent versions of the SharePoint. There are different kinds of features available in the recent versions. Those are the updated versions. In previous years versions also one of the greatest in SharePoint, but if you are looking compared to the present updated versions, there are many more features available. In those many more features, one of the best tool is mini roles, and we will discuss about that one, and also how this SharePoint supports large files, and also how much storage we can store it, how much space it can be supported, and how much data can be available. So we will discuss in today's agenda, and also I will explain the load balancing, how we can manage, how to load balance about web servers and applications, how make our environment healthy. We will discuss about the today's agenda. I will also explain about the what are the requirements of the server for the installation of the SharePoint, and what are the mandatory requirements, and what are the hardware requirements, and what are the software. And also next topic we will discuss about the what are the app hosting models, how we can deploy the apps, how we can integrate the third party applications into our organizations, how we can utilize it. There are several app third party apps are we can integrate with the SharePoint. And the next one, initial deployment, how we can deploy these solutions, and how we can deploy the codes by using the PowerShells and no code facilities and the GUI. We will discuss about that one. And also we can I will explain about the monitoring tools. What we will tracking the deployments, how it is going to be. So by using the DevOps and some other integration tools, whenever we are deploying the codes, what are the problems we are facing, everything, we can use it by using the third-party tools, such as some of the first management and some of the other tools we can utilize by the tracking of the deployments. Okay. So after everything completed, so we can go for the exercise installing the SharePoint by using the menu. This is for the today's agenda. Next, this course curriculum, mostly we are talking about the overview of the SharePoint and the installation, and what are the technologies available in the SharePoint, and what are the present updated versions, what are the previous versions, and what are the difference between those versions, and what are the features available onto the updated versions, how they integrated how they made it into the cloud environment. Everything we will discuss into the SharePoint server technologies. Next, the top curriculum is the document management, content management. As we know, SharePoint is mostly preferable for the content management and document management. That doesn't mean only for it supports the document management or content. It supports everything like a meeting conduct and so maintenance of the sites and the maintenance of the sites and the security purpose and authentications, everything. So it supports in the SharePoint. So for this topic, we will discuss about the documents and content management. The other one is the user communications list and list items. That means it's purely in the records how we can maintain into our organizations. So by using the SharePoint, how we can manage the records and everything, we will discuss about the fourth topic. The fifth topic is the permission levels. There are different levels of permissions are there for the users levels, the item levels, and the administration levels. And different kinds of them, what the level of permissions and what the level of authentications, what are the level of other authorizations going to provide on the SharePoint. We will discuss in this topic. The next one. So mainly the technical part, and if we can talk about the technology words in the SharePoint, there are main parts into the sites, site pages, master pages, SharePoint server designing and branding. So in this topic, we will discuss about how to create the sites, what is the site pages, and how we can customize the master pages, and how we can brand the SharePoint pages by using the SharePoint designer or the designer tools and the third party. So we will discuss about this topic. Sixth topic about the info path. Now the info path has been deprecated. So it was the previous version, old it was used. Now it has made it into the Power Automate, Power Apps. So we will discuss about the info path form and the Power Apps as what are the why it was deprecated and what are the how we can design the info path form. I will explain about that one as well. And so how it was implemented into the Power Apps, I will explain that. The next part topic is the client-based authentication. That is the authentication levels. There are two types of authentication levels are there in the previous version, classic and clients. Now the everything they made it into the clients-based authentications. In those clients-based authentications, we have two types, Windows and the forms-based everything. Now we are talking about the clients-based authentications. I will explain the in detail about the clients authentication as well. Then one of the major part and one of the end user level for the SharePoint is the web. It's a web part is a kind of a it's a kind of the apps. It's like that one with the single page. Take an example for the mobile. You can set different level of apps in the first level of it. The same kind of thing in our organizations. If any, so not only for our organizations, you can go for the any organizations based on their environment. If they want to look into the pages and the web parts and this one, so we can design. There are different kinds of web parts. So we can talk about the web parts. That means the documents will also make it as a web parts. Lists also web parts. We can create the search contents. So we can discuss about the web parts. The next part, the SharePoint is the API, application interface models. So how we can customize, how we can deploy, how we can deploy the some other web code into the our environment. We can discuss. I will explain clearly about that one as well. The other topic is workflows. So workflows is a kind of the approval, the condition based and action based. That means, suppose to take an example for the leave request form. So if you want to get the leave, so first we need to get the approval from that one. So first the request is when you submit the request, it based on the our workflow designing, it goes to the first level manager. Once it's approved, so then we will get automatic mail reply, and it is not approved, then we'll get a mail for the rejected. This is called the workflow. That means repetitive task of the process to complete the one particular task. That is called the work. We will discuss in detail about the workflows as well, and there are a couple of third-party workflows also involved in this one. That is mostly some organizations they use the Nintex workflows. And some of the people, those who have the developers, they can use the SharePoint designer to design the workflows. And also in SharePoint environment, we have the out of the box workflows. So we will discuss about that one. And the other part is SharePoint administration. So everything in the SharePoint central admin portal, how we manage our environment, how we manage our environment, make it is healthy, and everything, how we can configure for the search profile and different service applications are there. Everything we can manage by using the single console of the central administration. So after the finish of the every curriculums, we have a practice test and we provide the interview questions for this one. This is the main curriculum of the course. So this is, as I discussed with them, this is the total duration of 30 hours, and this total 30 hours, so we can cover all, whatever the curriculum we explain to you. Totally everything we have completed, and then also we will resolve. So we will clarify your doubts and explain everything, whatever and all required for this training session. Coming to the SharePoint training market, so I would like to explain why most of the people and the job seekers looking into the SharePoint is SharePoint at the starting time. It was started as a free version of the 2003. Now, compared to that time to now, the Microsoft earning around 70% of revenue from the SharePoint training. SharePoint doing. SharePoint mean not only for the document management, it manages everything like a meeting conduct, and also it can visualize for the entire global, and also this is one of the best search management tool and the record management tool, and we can collaborate all over the world the persons into the single central database. So because of these reasons, and also it is SharePoint is also the one of the best features for that we can integrate this one to remain all the different technologies. Suppose if you want to example, I can take it. You have in your business environment, you have the separate software. You can integrate the software with the SharePoint, and you can manage that application into the entire anywhere in the world in the global market. That is the reason it was growing very fast. Now this is one of the best revenue profit into the in the Microsoft group. And also by talking about the SharePoint careers, nowadays if we can go for the any organizations, as per my experience, I did not see even the single company they are not using for this, because now they have made it for the cloud environments as PaaS and everything, and also they have the on-premises environment. Most of the companies, around 90% of the companies, they are using for the SharePoint. This is one of the big growing market, and you can get the chances for the L1 level, L2 level, and L3. And if you are the most experienced, once you got into the most experience, you can be a chances for the architect. So compared to most of the technology, SharePoint one of the fast growing technology and fast career growing technology also. So this is one of the lead. It leads in the market at present. Talking about the curriculum, once you completed this training, you will be certified for the. You will get a chances to get the certification for the managing Microsoft SharePoint Server 2013 and hybrid environment, and these all the certifications can be available to get into the Microsoft technologies once you completed this training. These are the certifications available for the SharePoint. So once you completed this course, so we provide a certification for you for this MindMajix certifications. This is the one of the best achievement certifications we provide from our organization. So now this is the, as I talking about the, now I am talking about the SharePoint logical architecture and search management and site collection. So for the discuss about the each one, designing logical architecture. It depends upon the organization. Suppose if we have a organizations with a small company, they based on their plan, if they have, take an example, if a small organizations which around the 200 employees, so based on their employees, we design the structure, what they need. So that based on the topology, they have the medium topology, minimum topology, and maximum topology, and entire technologies. Whether we can use the single tier, and two tier, and three tier. Based on their plan, we can design the SharePoint. For example, if we can go for the big organizations around the 1,000 employees, we can make the capacity planning. Capacity, how much, so how many employees, unique users are there, how many active users are there, so how much they are utilizing, what the requirement they need, what are the departments they are using, how it is designed, and how they frequently they are going to use. So based on their planning and how much network do you require, based on their organizations, once we can we gather the report for the all the organizations. So from the organizations, once we get the report, the organizations, based on that we prepare a plan. There are the 5 ways of the plan: design, so gather the report, and design, deploy, monitor, and sustain. Those are the 5 ways we follow that one, and we can implement, and we make the server in healthy. This is about the designing of the logical architecture. Now I'm talking about the search management. How we are managing? There are lot of kind of things we need to be prepared to manage the search. In every organization present, everyone they need a lot of documents are there. So people cannot go for the each and every site to check the documents and list. This is very difficult for them. Now, there it comes into the picture of the search. Search where we configure the different kinds of components are there. There the index component, crawl component, and administration component, log analytics component, different kinds of components. Based on these components, we configure the search manager. Search. Based on the search, so we can create the search for the separate console and each individual, and also we can create the promoted results, and we can configure the search management based on how much content it has to show and what are the previous we can see, and everything we can manage for the search console. This is the separate service application. So there are 3 kinds of service applications are more important into the search. That is search, profile, and business data consultants. And there are different other service applications are also there. But every company, those who are managing the SharePoint environment, must and should they configure the search. So when you go to the for the interviews and career, for every organizations in the interview they ask the questions about the search. So in the search, so you people please be concentrate and be more familiar with the search. And the next topic, so I am talking about the site collections. There are different kinds of site collections, and site collections means it's collection of these sites. That means each site has a lot of content. Like that, if you have more than one site, and these all the sites managed by the top level site, it is called the site collections. There also we can say the root site collection. Root site collection is the top of the top levels. There where for the controlling of the security and the site collections, what level of permissions. There are different kinds of permissions are there in the site collections. That is site collection administrators. Administrators, those who are the whole, they have the whole responsibility about the site collections management. That means they can make the branding, they can do the permissions, they can restrict the permissions, they can. So those persons we can call it as a site collection administrator. Under the site collection levels, we can control what level of permissions we can give to the site users and what level of permissions we can give to the subsets. Everything we can manage. There are different kinds of security rules. that is Windows authentication also there. And also we can manage the audience level security for the web and also we can manage the form level of authentications also. Everything we can manage by the identities. And the other part is backup and restore. For the organization, how we are going to manage because of the recovery, disaster recovery planning, and also the to make our environment healthy every day. How we are taking the backup of the our environment, and so we are going to take the backup whether we are using the third-party tools like a site first management tool, ShareGate tool. The number of third-party tools are there for the backup and restore. Instead of that one, if you want to use the out of the box to take the backup and restore, we can utilize that features also in the SharePoint environment. The backup, and we can take by using for the GUI method, by using for the PowerShell methods, we can take the backups and we can restore them. And also, we have different kinds of levels of backup. That is the database level backup. You can take the database level to make everything. We take the backup of the SQL level for the database to make everything healthy. And whenever, and also for the migration planning also, suppose if your environment has the SharePoint 2013, if you want to migrate into the SharePoint 2016, by using these backup and restore facility, we can back up the database and we can restore it. These the kind of levels, and also in the organization level, based on their policies and governance policies, we can take the backup. Whether we can take the incremental backup and full backup or continuous backup. There are different kinds of levels of backup. We can take it and we can restore the based on the company requirement. And the next topic is environment troubleshooting. How we are going to troubleshoot the so if you find any issues in the organizations, we may get a lot of issues because in the production environment there are kind of number of clients are there. So every user has their problems. If the user is coming to you and based on their health, you have a ticketing tool. So by using the ticketing tool, if the user reach you and if we can say, this is the problem I am facing. Based on the user issue, we can manage. And also for the environmental issues, means suppose my search is not working. And how we are going to fix and troubleshoot that issue. And how we are going to fetch the logs. And how suppose if the site search if we can get any correlation IDs. Based on the correlation IDs, what are the problems is facing? So whether the problem is whether the person is not able to search the items, or the items are not been crawling into the environment, or is there any query rules? Is there any query rules or alert rules are stopping for this search? So everything we can check based on our ULS logs. And also, this is one of the part of the troubleshooting. So by using the logs, by using the ULS logs, and by using the PowerShell commands for the merge log options and correlation ID. And the other one is for the web-based environmental issues. Suppose if the users reported to you that I am not able to access this site, user has the permission is there, everything is there. Not only user, everyone is in the environment, total environment, most of the users are facing. Then how we are going to troubleshoot? Whether the problem is the problem is for the load balancing issue, are there is any of the load balance issues, or is there any problem of the IIS, or is there any problem of the application pool issues? We need to check. So one by step. The first thing is for the checking of the any issues, we need to check. We need to go for the log files. Based on the log files, is there any authentication problems are there? Is there any load balancing problems? Is there any memory issues? So everything will come under the trouble. And also we can use the third parties like the Fiddler tool. This is the web-based troubleshooting tool. By using the Fiddler tool, how much time it's consuming to get the SharePoint records. So we can analyze that. we can analyze and we can check each and everything, how much time it is taking. Based on the analysis, based on the speed of the system, we can take it and we can troubleshoot the issues. Okay, this is the environmental troubleshooting. So I will explain. We can take the live-based environment and we can explain in the lab environment how we are getting the issues, how we are going to troubleshoot. I will explain each and every. So actually, in our organization MindMajix, we are going to conduct the two projects. One is the Cognizant projects. So we are going to deliver in future, and also we also have the other project for the Microland. In that Microland, we already enrolled for the corporate training for the people around 13 candidates in 40 hours. So this project is going to conduct in bank. The lab setup for the environment. This is the instructor-based lab environment. Only for the lab purpose, we need the 16 GB RAM and 64-bit 4 cores processor. Minimum hard disk capacity will be the 80 GB for the system drive and 100 GB for the second drive. And the database servers, the software requirements. So, if you are using for the SharePoint 2016 environment, the standard interface is either 2012, 2014, 2016 or SQL 2019. But coming to the operating systems, either any one of these operating systems can be work for the share. Windows Server 2012 R2, 2016 and 2019. So if you want to go for the references, so these are the reference articles and the reference tutorials where you can see how we can manage the administrations and how we can go through it, and you can read for the how we are going to installations, and you can check different kinds of the articles and you can get the issues and the installations, everything we can go for this reference articles. Now guys, these are the interview questions most of the companies can going to ask you. And about the first, as a if talking about the environmental troubleshooting, most of the time that come into the picture, the application, they will ask what is the application. You have to be familiar on those, and how do you configure the search. As I told you, search is very crucial part in the SharePoint environment. So you guys have to know what is the search and what are the contents are there, what are the components are there, and what is the database, and how we are going to troubleshoot everything. You have to learn the search. And the service applications, there are different kinds of service applications. And in my experience, most of the companies, most of the interviewers, they ask me the questions about the state service application. Please be familiar about these service applications and what are the functions of those service applications. And those persons who are the experienced persons, so they see the question also coming into the interviews about the patches, how we are going to manage the patch, what kind of issues you are going to get when you are doing for the patches. So this is also one of the question in the interview. And profile service application, as I said, there are the three important service applications. Most of the organizations, most of the interviewers, they ask the question about the search, profile service applications, and the BCS, business continuity service. The next one is the hybrid implementation. So as you are the experienced persons, they are going to ask about the how you implemented the hybrid. Hybrid means the connection between how you are integrated with the on-premises environment into the cloud environment. You need to be expert about it. And the other thing for the entry questions, they will ask for the one issue. What are the major challenge you have been faced? You can explain about that one. You can take any one of the issues about the search, profile, anything. You can explain a little bit more in detail, and what are the steps you have been followed, what are the steps you have taken to fix those issues. These are the most of the questions coming to the interview. Okay guys, so if you have any doubts regarding the subject, course timings and resource allocations can be discussed with the MindMajix. Please feel free and drop your query to the info@mindmax.com. Thank you guys. We appreciate your feedback, and this will help us improve in delivering quantitative trainings further.